Hi everyone, hanging on that wall is a 16-pound largemouth bass. The lake we're coming to you from this week has some fish that big swimming around in it. We might not catch one of those, but we're going to do a couple of things we've never done before. Crazy things happening in the next half hour. We explain it all to you because Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hi everybody and welcome to this week's episode. It is pouring rain outside right now. We are stuck inside the Bunkhouse Lodge at famous Lake Fork Marina and Resort located in East Texas. Now, if you know anything at all about fishing, you know that Lake Fork is one of the best big bass fishing lakes anywhere in America. My good friend and lake guide, James Caldemeyer, has put me on a couple of patterns that are very unique. They don't happen often, and they're going to be a very interesting thing for us to talk about on this week's episode. And while I'm out on Lake Fork doing that, we're taking you around your local region for this week's fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters. Get you current on what's happening in your area. We hope to get out on the lake while the shad are spawning. Now, what do shad spawning have to do with bass fishing? We're going to explain that coming up next. Right now, let's get you back to the FSN studios to get things started with your weekend planner.
The Salooner tables are indicating fair conditions for both days of the weekend. And there's a great opportunity for some early night fishing with peak evening hours starting at 9:35 on Saturday and 10:19 on Sunday. The sun will rise at 6:19 and set at 8:32. And evenings will be lit by a moon that is 72% visible. We're coming right back with fishing updates from around the area. And I'll return with 2016 Classic Champion Edwin Evers to answer this week's Ask the Pro question. Stay with us.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than a boat, it's a tracker. Mercury Marine, go boldly. Lowrance Electronics, celebrating 60 years of fish finding excellence. Find, navigate, dominate. And Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there.
Got it, good one. Good one, here we go. Got it, good one. Good one, here we go. Here he comes. Just a Lake Fork bass right there. Not big, but it's just a good chunk on a topwater. How about that for a blow up, boys and girls? That sucker came up there and annihilated that topwater bait right there. Well, welcome back. We've made it out, as you can see. It's early in the morning, and I'm actually doing something I've never done before. I am fishing the shad spawn. The threadfin shad are up in shallow water. They push up at night and they're spawning right up along the shorelines and the points. And the bass follow them up. And it's good for a couple of hours in the mornings on a topwater. And you can get some just spectacular blow-ups on topwaters. Look for blue herons and white egrets standing on little secondary points off the shoreline. They're feeding on those shad that have moved up overnight, and the bass are right behind them. Throw a topwater bait right up against the shoreline where those shad are spawning. You can catch a lot of bass, and that's a good start we're off to right there. Probably going to do a couple of other things today here at Lake Fork, but that's a good thing for right here early in the morning. Let's get you fishing and lake reports where you are.
Hi folks, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Ulrich Cabins. Now, they are a Texas-based family-owned company that's ready to build your fishing lodge by the lake, or hunting retreat, or just a place for the family to get away, relax, dream, and enjoy. Be sure and check out mytexascabin.com for your Lone Star Lakes viewer discounts that are available only to you. Now this week we're at Lake Ray Hubbard in the center of Dallas, which has some fantastic sand bass, hybrid striper, and largemouth bass fishing. Starting with largemouths on the I-30 bridge along the rocks. We're going to throw topwaters like your buzzbaits and your poppars very early in the morning, then transition deeper in the water column to your chartreuse or chartreuse white spinnerbaits with gold blades, very important, and then Cincos with a weighted hook, watermelon red, Junebug, or purple in your Cinco colors. Put a dash of chartreuse on the tail. And finally, your small diving crankbaits that get down to the 6 to 8 foot range. Bang those into the rocks and you'll catch largemouths here on Lake Ray Hubbard. For your hybrids, you'll want to fish the deeper points and drops out off of those points with your bigger slabs and or live bait. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Ulrich Cabins. mytexascabin.com for your discounts. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report, and our June issue is now on sale on newsstands with timely tips for some great fresh and saltwater fishing, as well as off-season hunting opportunities and pre-season preparations. These are a few examples of why Texas Outdoors Journal has been named the #1 outdoor major publication in Texas for 19 years. Pick up a copy on newsstands or subscribe at texasoutdoorsjournal.com or call 800-222-4TOJ. Well, more consistent light wind days have been forecast. The CCA Texas Star Tournament's underway, and the fact June is arguably the best month of the year for speckled trout sets the stage for this week's report. Shallow early and late with topwater lures will be the norm over most of the coast. As the morning warms, switch to soft plastics or live bait under a rattling float, then wade or drift slightly deeper water. Now from Sabine southward to West Matagorda, take advantage of any bird activity observed. On the middle coast from Port O'Connor to Port Aransas, the back lakes as well as shorelines of barrier islands will hold solid fish. Redfish will be on Estes Flats, Crash Channel Flats, and the shallow flats around Emmer's Hole. Now from Port Mansfield to Port Isabel, a similar pattern occurs with trout on shorelines and redfish on the flats. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Come up here, bass. Yeah. Watch this. Missed it. Wham! Boy, he blew up on that. Did you see that blow up on that topwater? Come up here, bass. Yeah. There we go. Look how fat that one is in there, eating all those shad spawning in there on those willows. Show you something here real quick. Welcome back, everybody. We're on Lake Fork today, catching little fatties like that, blowing up on topwater baits. Look here behind me. See all those willow trees? And they come out in the water, and evidently these shad are spawning right in these real shallow willows right here in front. One of the things you've got to be sure and do on a topwater is let them take it. A lot of times they'll come up and miss it. And if you jerk and set the hook, you'll pull it away from them. So a lot of times if they miss it, you just leave it sitting there, keep reeling it or twitching it, and they'll come back and get it a second time. Typically that sun comes out and hits the water and it's all over with. You might as well go out and fish deeper. But this morning, the cloud cover seems to be keeping these fish in here a little bit longer. So we'll stay in here as long as they stay. But you can actually tell when they leave because everything just dies and the birds leave. But we've still got blue herons and white egrets feeding on these shad. As long as the shad are here, the bass will stay in here. Got them going on Lake Fork today, having a lot of fun. Time for more fishing reports for you.
Hey, a couple of really good recent fishing reports here in Oklahoma that you can take advantage of either by going to these bodies of water or applying the same techniques closest to your favorite fishing places. Bobby Myers and Nick Bailey went to Sooner Lake. They caught good numbers and quality largemouth post-spawn bass there. Bobby said the lake level is about normal, the water color is clear, They concentrated mostly on the discharge side of the lake and fished mostly rocks. Bobby said their best success came on the heavy sinking stick style soft plastic bait like the LaRue salt flicker, but they also caught some on swim baits. Best color for the salt flicker, green pumpkin watermelon variation. Bobby said that they concentrated mostly 2 to 5 foot of water. Good activity there, caught a number of quality largemouth all the way up to the 7-pounder. Skytook Lake is also on fire for hybrids. Water level is high. The best boat ramp for access is Black Dog. Then the guys are boating to the lower end of the lake, kind of between the dam over toward the Tall Chief Cove area, catching a lot of hybrids early, late in the shallows, 2 to 5 foot of water, mostly along the flooded grassy shorelines. Later in the day, those fish can be caught moving out toward the standing timber, about 6 to 10 foot of water. A great lure choice for this is the LaRue Rowley Grub. George Tolson and Leon Mears have been doing this for a while, catching good numbers. You can catch them at Skytook, you can catch them at Center Lake, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
There's one. Oh, he's around the stump. Come around there. Come loose, buddy. There he came loose. All right, way out here off the point. There he comes up top. I've got him hooked kind of under the gill a little bit, so he's not gonna be able to fight very well. Hit my crankbait. Oh, right on top of me. All right, there's just another good chunky fish. Well, we're on them. This has been a good morning so far. Just catching a lot of quality bass like that. Just a good, solid, good fighting fish. Real healthy, real fat fish, of course, eating all these shad in here. Here's a good lesson for you. If you're in here and you're catching them on top water, like we've been doing, and they stop hitting the top water, go to something subsurface. Go to a spinner bait. A little square bill crankbait is always a good option. Even a little shaky head worm, something like that, but something that'll get down. A lot of times they won't leave. You'll think they're done. You'll think it's all over with and they've moved out to deep water and they're still sitting there. They're just not hitting the top anymore. So go to something subsurface. Keep another rod handy. A lot of times you can just keep right on catching them. We're doing it today.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Luz, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue Bass Baits and Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leaders in soft plastic lures innovation. And Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
There we go. Got the lily pad, the bass, the grass. Okay, so here is what these fish are in. Got it. I got one. Oh, and immediately around a big old lily pad. We've made a move, big move. We fished that shad spawn this morning until it finally just played out. Now we've made a move all the way back in some real shallow stuff in a bunch of green vegetation, willow bushes, and tons of lily pad fields. There we go. I got the lily pad, the bass, the grass. Okay, so here is what these fish are in. Big old lily pads like that, and this grass, and I think that's milfoil is what that grass is called right there. There he is, and he hung on for a long time. Skinny one. All right, back he goes. So let me explain something to you. It can be very, very intimidating to come out here in literally acres or miles of these lily pads and all this grass. What are you looking for? That's the cover, and you're looking for the edges of the cover. So if you have a thick clump of lily pads and then an edge, that's a good place. If the lily pads make a little point that comes out, that's a good place. Anything that's a change or an edge is what you're looking for. And the last thing you're looking for is holes or openings in the lily pads. So if you got a real thick, big patch of them and you got 2 or 3 little openings, 5, 6 feet in diameter, throw across those openings. Those are good spots. So you really have to kind of dissect the lily pad field down and find just the spots where those fish are going to be sitting, because they're not everywhere. They're just in certain spots. If you can find those spots, you can catch you some bass like that one. All right, let's get you more fishing and lake reports from your local area. Here's an insider reporter near you.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Louisiana Outdoor Report. I'm talking Louisiana and I'm talking saltwater fishing. Right now we're starting to get into the early summertime pattern all along the coast of Louisiana. When the wind doesn't blow, trout fishing is very good. As you can see right here, right now we're having strong southerly winds. Took my clients that I had today, we went back up in some shallow marshy areas. The whole Louisiana coast right now, all the way down home with lots of trout. Some great redfish action. Here on Calcasieu, trout fishing is really picking up if the winds are down. But I tell you what, if the wind blows, you can always get out on the water and have some great redfish action. Right now, we're going to turn it over to Cajunville and see what's going on in the bass scene.
Thanks, Captain Kevin. I'll tell you what, friends, I just want to talk real quick about two places that we got good reports on this week. Love to bring you up-to-date current reports. Lake Henderson had some friends of ours that went down there. They caught a limit of bass for 2 days in a row. They caught them using crankbait. Said crawfish color was working the best, but it did catch some on the shad color. They also threw plastic worms. They wanted a 6-inch that said multicolored. It didn't matter. Throwing 1/4-ounce slip suckers going along the grass. The other report, finally, got a night fishing report from Toledo Bend this week. They were fishing in humps and ridges in about 18 foot of water, throwing a 1/2-ounce slip sucker. They were throwing the plastic lizard. They're actually fishing a Zoom lizard, and they were fishing the watermelon color. They were dipping the tail in chartreuse. They did really well that night.
We got it. I've got one. We're still in this giant lily pad field, and really the only thing you can do once you get one of them is to turn on your trolling motor and plow through the pads and come up here and get the fish. Got braided line on. Look at this right here. Okay, I got him. How about that? I'm around the lily pad. They're very unforgiving, I can promise you that. And you better have some braided line on. Like a 65-pound braid. That took some doing right there, and I had him really stuck good in the side of the jaw. That is a beautiful fat fish right there, blowing up on a frog. And I'm just sitting here thinking that this is some of the bassiest looking stuff I've ever fished in my life. I want to take just a quick 360 pan around us here and just show you. Look at all those lily pads, stumps, milfoil grass beds, literally just every bass holding cover you can possibly imagine. I will tell you that you can come do this if you'll just go in the kind of the backs of the bays and just drive around until you see these lily pad fields, and then just take your time, fish them real slow, be very patient, and something like that can happen. And you can see as we come on around, literally 360 degrees all the way around me is something that looks like it ought to hold a bass. And then sure enough, one just blows up on that frog. Oh man, I gotta calm down a little bit.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday at 5:30, or catch the repeat airing Saturday morning at 8. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button. And see lots of our how-to and product videos by selecting the how-to button. Join our online fishing community. Just click the like button on our Facebook page for access to daily posts with lots of fishing news, videos, and frequent giveaways. And stay up to date with all the latest fishing information and photos by following our Twitter feed. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Motor Guide, because accuracy matters. And Excite Technologies, powering the world forward.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro question, your chance for advice from professional anglers. This week, Johnny wants to know, will a drop shot rig work in shallow water? For the answer, we asked 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion Edwin Evers.
Hey, I use that drop shot all the time. I got one tied on in my boat right now. I'm gonna be fishing shallow water. Drop shot is a presentation that's a staple in my boat 365 days a year. You know, deep water fishing, I'm gonna have a longer tag, a bigger weight. Those things shorten up and get lighter the shallower I go. I've caught numerous fish this time of year on a drop shot in 1 foot of water as I'm sight fishing the fish. I see one swimming down a bank, I'll throw it 15 foot out in front of it, maybe bed fishing, maybe flipping stumps. It's a great pattern, you know, here in the Midwest, you know, on Lake Fork, Toledo Bend, Rayburn. You know, this time of year fishing for those deeper fish, but a drop shot's a bait that I'm gonna have tied on all year long, even in shallow water.
Thank you, Edwin. If you have a question to ask one of the pros, simply go to our website, follow the Ask the Pro link, and let us know. Now let's find out which big fish photo wins someone a brand new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
Hey everybody, back at the boat ramp, time right now for this week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest. Someone wins free sunglasses. She's Catherine Perez of Brownsville, Texas, showing a 27-inch speckled trout she caught out of the Arroyo, Colorado in Texas. If you'd like a chance to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click in the Costa Catch of the Week area on the right side of the front page, and follow the instructions to enter your big fish photo. If you'd like to see all of the Costa frame and lens styles, go back to our homepage, click on the Costa logo, and you can see all of the frame styles and lenses there, including the frame style I was wearing on this week's episode. This one is called Tuna Alley. And speaking of Costa sunglasses, on today's gear feature, I want to show you the most recent pair of lenses that Costa has introduced to the market. They are the Sunrise Silver Mirror lenses. They're the ones I was wearing today, and they were made specifically for these conditions. When it's dark and overcast, cloudy, rainy, these are the lenses you want to wear. They literally let through much more light and they brighten everything up, but yet still cut all the glare off the water. I could see underneath all those lily pads. I could see the subtleties of the grass beds, the dark coloration underneath. It really helps you know where to make that pinpoint cast. They are the brand new Costa Sunrise Silver Mirror lenses. Check them out at your retailer for days just like today when it's cloudy and dark and overcast. How flexible are you? No, I'm not talking about exercising flexible muscles and joints and those kinds of things. I'm talking about mentally flexible. Many of us love things to be constant, the same. Many of us like a little rut, a comfort zone to get into, and get plenty upset when things do change. But you know what? Life is not like that. Circumstances change, people change, things just change, and successful people learn how to roll with and adapt to those changes. As a matter of fact, one of my mentors says, sometimes change just for change's sake can be good. Two more quick things before we get out of here. First of all, if you want to book a great guide on Lake Fork, book James Caldmeyer. He's my good buddy for many years. You see his contact information on the screen, and he's idling out of the cove right now on a guide trip. But even more important, go look at his video and listen to his story on the I Am Second website. James is a great guy. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. You'll love his life story. Check it out, and you can also book him for a great guide trip here on Lake Fork. Also, if you want a great place to stay, you can stay where we are right now. That's at Lake Fork Marina and Resort. Great rooms, great lodge, great restaurant, camping, covered boat parking, boat ramp, everything you could possibly want in one location. Contact Lake Fork Marina at the information you see on your screen. From beautiful Lake Fork, Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.